what's the latest idea that you've had that has just excited you that you just wish you had the time to do?
Latest idea.
We all sign non-disclosure agreements.
But everybody here has one. You know, we're all here because we have one. We want to hear how do we get money for this or that and the other. But you know, what's something that you'd love to get the money for today?
Well, I think I am really passionate about this ecosystem. I mean, we've talked about. I think an incubator at Dell Tech. There is an opportunity to set up a Y Combinator like accelerator in this region. There absolutely is. So that's probably what and why I do the first state innovation work, because I really do see this area rich with people, technologies, very diverse. So.
Could you define accelerator? I heard you mention that couple. What does that
Yeah,
mean?
so an accelerator is like an incubator on steroids.
Oh, okay.
So an accelerator offers something special that an incubator might not. So an incubator traditionally is real estate. There's a place, and they sign a contract that they'll be there for 6 months, and then they'll grow out of it. And so what does the place offer? So an accelerator does that. It accelerates. It's time compression. It's a program. Usually they would offer boot camp-like program.
Okay.
So I think that would be the if I had some extra money, I'd like to set up the investor accelerator for the region.
What are your thoughts on entrepreneurial co-working, such as the Coin Loft, which Wes and Steve kind of champion? What are your thoughts as someone that's kind of in the market of investing, angel investing, and knows a lot about VCs and things like that? What are the industry's thoughts on places such as that, as far as looking for places to put their money or the next good ideals, things such as this?
Well, so I'm not sure I understand the question. Is it
Where
did an investor put? Would I invest?
Well, no. Let me clarify. What I'm saying is, what are your thoughts on what Steve and Wes are doing here at the Coin Loft, and around the country? It seems to be springing up co-working spaces for startup companies.
Oh, I think it's great. I mean, I think it's really it's good. It's good. It's needed, and I would also think it's growing. So, I mean, I think there's going to be more startups than less. So, and I think co-working is a good system. Having mobility and having this setup you have is pretty progressive.
And to that point, I guess the next part of my two-part question is.
You never did answer that. I got to come back to that.
What are your thoughts as someone who's in the investment field towards those places being the start of where you look to possibly find your next investment? Since there are already companies in these places, to me, which I'm not an investor, I'm a startup, so I mean it sounds good to me, but it seems like a great place to start looking for those next big things.
Yeah, it makes life easy.
Right.
It makes life really easy. So that's why it's it's good. It's a good thing.
Right. It's actually interesting that you brought that up, because we kind of see with the companies that tend to work here, the first thing that we notice is that productivity goes right through the roof, because you're working in an environment where everyone has an idea, everyone's excited to do something, and we tend to rub off each other's energy. But at the same time, I think we attract more startups, and because of that, people tend to accelerate, and we're seeing them go out to the cities and take space, or launch new ideas, or get together and launch new ideas. So to your point, I think it definitely seems to be one of the places that investors would want to spend some time.
So how much money would it take to do what you'd like to do?
So
next year, on an annual basis or lump sum, whichever way.
So have everybody heard of Y Combinator? So Y Combinator probably was the first, or arguably one of the best accelerators in Silicon Valley. And so I think what you need a way to get some space. and then you have to incentivize the winners with some cash. So you probably need, I think they probably did 100, they probably do every semester. I guess they have 10 winners. I think the winners, Jay, do you know, do the winners get 50,000? I think there's
6 to 8,000 per founder.
Yeah.
6 to 8, yeah.
I think it's like, I think they've upped the number recently, but it's based on the number of founders. It's 10, 15 tops.
Yeah,
10, 15, okay, yeah.
Just to clarify a little bit, when he's talking about the winners, it's an application process,
Yeah.
and then they select from the applicants who would actually be able to take a part of it.
The one in Philly, Dream Adventures, they had last summer they had about 500 people that applied for it, and then I think they selected, what was it, 10 or 12?
Yeah,
Something.
10 or 12 would make it. And I don't know, I don't think they gave much cash.
No, they're on the lower side.
Like Tito does something like that. They have a boot camp and a competitive business plan, but it's what, $1,500 they give.
Right. But the difference actually between an incubator even or a business plan competition is that the sole purpose of going through the accelerator is to launch a company.
Yeah, it's
So
a product
you're not-
and
not
customer
exactly-
It's not a
development
paper
at the same
exercise,
time.
it's a,
Exactly. And then you know, in an incubator you have an elongated time and certain benchmarks to hit along that time.
with more money coming
Exactly.
when you meet the benchmark,
You're right.
right?
And it works for a lot of companies, but I think for the types of companies where they're looking at in accelerators, you don't need a lot of time, you don't need a lot of money.
And then-
And in fact, I think when you shorten the period of time that you have to work on these things, I know myself, if I have 4 months to work on something, I have 7 different versions. And this really forces you to focus on what's going to be the thing that will get me from step A to step B as quickly as possible. And you don't have the time to wiggle all around. You're either a go or you're not.
So you probably need 150,000
A year.
for a term. So a lot of these are done like for a 4-month term. Yeah.
Well, to me as a startup, I'm not really sure that $6,000 to $8,000 mark is really going to attract me as a. Yeah, I mean, if you're thinking big, big startup.
No, what the real attraction isn't, that's just to a little bit of rent and food money. The
Right.
reason people do it is the weekly guest speakers are to die for.
Okay.
I mean, they're Bill Gates level people. They're people that come in, the accounting expert of experts, then there's the marketing expert of experts, and then they're people to die for. And so you get to rub noses with these.
Well, and this because actually we were talking about this the other day, and I was thinking because you threw out the number of like 150,000 to get that started. For an entrepreneur going through this program that may already have a startup, if you're trying to attract the type of entrepreneurs that you're trying to attract, they go through they get these experts, and of course this is why we come see people like yourself, people that know what they're doing, to take a look at what they're doing. I think the carrot at the end of the road as a startup or entrepreneur would be, okay, I do all this, and then where's the panel that you eventually get funded the way you want to get funded? Is that part of what you're saying, or is this just kind of like a seminar type deal that you're talking about?
What happens is they have graduation day, and graduation day is attended by the who's who of Silicon Valley, and now graduation, there was a big press release with Startup America that Ron Conway and some other big super angels said we'll give $150,000 to any graduate of Y Combinator for these terms. So it's already been acknowledged that Y Combinator is the winner. They've got $150K, assuming they win the competition. So it's been an acknowledgement that Y Combinator's model is a much better way to do angel investing, and so that's why it's
So then